For a long time, the front line of attorney-client privilege, it was a locked filing cabinet, right? A soundproof conference room. But today, that front line has totally moved. It's now your inbox, it's your laptop, it's your cloud storage. So let's dive into this critical shift and, more importantly, what it means for your practice.
And let's be really clear right from the start. This isn't about you having to become some kind of tech wizard. It's about the core duties you live by every single day, protecting client confidentiality, preserving that sacred privilege, and of course, safeguarding the reputation you've worked so hard to build.
So you might be wondering, why the focus on solo and small firms? Well, it's not because you're careless. It's because you're kind of the perfect target. Think about it. You hold incredibly valuable client data, but often with fewer of the complex, expensive safeguards a huge firm might have. And trust me, the attackers, they know this.
And what exactly are they after? I mean, look at this. We're talking about personally identifiable information, financial details, settlement numbers, privileged communications about litigation strategy, even your trust account information. This isn't just random data. This is literally the crown jewels of your entire practice.
And this isn't just me saying it. This is a huge professional concern. Bar associations, ethics committees, they're all sounding the alarm. They're making it really clear that firms without dedicated IT and security staff are just facing a much, much higher level of risk.
So, this brings us to one of the most common vulnerabilities I see, using a personal email for client matters. Yeah, it's convenient, I get it, but those services just aren't designed for your professional confidentiality obligations. Trying to prove you took reasonable safeguards gets a whole lot harder when a breach happens on an account like that.
Okay, so let's move away from this abstract idea of risk and talk about what a real incident actually looks like for your firm, for your clients, and for your day-to-day life.
It usually comes down to one of these three things. First, and this is the most common, is email compromise. An attacker gets in your account, and now they can read everything, or worse, impersonate you to try and get funds wired. Second, device compromise. You lose a laptop or it gets stolen, and bam, every case file on it is exposed. And third, they get access to your cloud or case management system, which lets them just sit there, silently watching everything you do. And here's what's so terrifying about that. For a big corporation, a breach might affect one department, but for a solo or small firm, one single incident, one compromised email, one stolen laptop, can potentially expose and impact every single client you have. The fallout is total.
So, this really brings us to the most important question of all. Knowing what the risks are, knowing what an incident actually looks like, is your practice truly ready for this?
Let's just take a second and do a quick reality check. Is your computer encrypted? If someone started sending fraudulent emails from your account, could you stop it right now? Do you have any kind of monitoring in place at all? Do you have a written plan for what to do? And do you even know what your notification requirements are? Seriously, if you answered no or I'm not sure to any of those, you've got a critical exposure right now.
All right, that was a little heavy, I know. But we've defined the problem, now let's talk about the solution. And I promise, this is a clear, manageable plan that does not require you to get a degree in computer science.
The best way to think about it is like a ladder. The very first rung, level 1. These are the foundational steps that every single law firm should take. I mean, right now. Things like enabling multi-factor authentication, using strong passwords, encrypting your devices. And you know what the best part is? They're all completely free to set up. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. Those steps are essential, but they're passive. They're like putting a lock on your door. They don't actually tell you if someone is trying to pick that lock. They don't give you any support when something bad actually happens. And that is a critical gap.
And that's exactly where the next levels of the ladder come in. Professional oversight is designed to fill that exact gap. It builds on your foundation by adding active monitoring, the alarm system, and the expert guidance to help you respond when you really need it most. So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means having someone always monitoring your email. It means having real protection for your devices. It means getting clear steps to follow when an incident happens, having a written plan, a WISP, to prove you've done your due diligence, and getting guidance on all those complicated breach notification duties. It's the whole package. So let's bring this all together and just get to the bottom line. This whole conversation, it's not really about technology choices, is it? It's about a fundamental, absolute requirement of running a modern legal practice. The most crucial point is this: cybersecurity is not an IT project. It's a direct safeguard for the very pillars of your practice.
I mean, attorney-client privilege is almost impossible to get back once it's been breached. Your reputation is fragile, and honestly, your clients just expect this level of protection as a bare minimum.
Let's be really clear about this. If you email your clients, if you store case files on a computer, if you handle any sensitive information electronically, you are already carrying cyber risk, period. The goal isn't some impossible state of perfection. The goal is just reasonable protection, visibility into what's happening, and a plan. That's what keeps a firm trusted, and that's what keeps it compliant.
So we'll end right here. Your clients have placed their most sensitive, most important matters in your hands. They're trusting you to protect them. The question you have to answer is, what's your plan to honor that trust?